Let's consider this example where we have a linear equation, but we have fractions. All right, so the first thing we want to try to do is get rid of fractions. And the way we get rid of fractions is to consider the least common denominator. So we have the denominators of 3, 2, and 4. And we want to know the smallest multiple, right? So it's called the least common multiple of 3, 2, and 4. And if it doesn't immediately come to you, no big deal. All you need to do is maybe start multiplying a couple together. So if I multiply 3 and 2, I get 6. Does 4 go into 6? Well, the answer is no. So that definitely doesn't work. What about 2 times 4? Well, that's 8. Does 3 divide into 8? No. So 8's not going to work. All right, that leaves us 3 and 12. 3 and 4. 3 times 4 is 12. And does 2 divide into 12? Yes. So what that tells us is we want to multiply every single term by 12. All right, so let's multiply every single term by 12. And I'm going to do something that looks a little funny, and that is to put 12 over 1. And as I copy down the rest of the problem, let me explain why I did 12 over 1, and that is so you remember that we multiply straight across. All right, and so I will continue writing down this problem, x over 4, all right, minus 12 over 1 times 7 over 3. Okay, so notice I've multiplied every single term by 12 over 1. Now again, what do I mean by multiply straight across? Sometimes students will try to, let me change my color here. All right, I'm going to change it to blue. Sometimes students will try to multiply the 12 with the numerator and the denominator, but we don't want to do that. That is not how we multiply fractions. The way we multiply fractions is straight across. All right, and so I'm going to multiply straight across. All right, so I get 12 times 2x plus 4, all divided by 3, plus 12x divided by 2 equals 12x divided by 4 minus 12 times 7, which is 84, divided by 3. Okay, now you may be thinking, hey, we need to distribute this 12 right here in the first term. Well, we can do that, but the first thing we want to do is now try to simplify these fractions. Now, what did I say our initial goal was? Our initial goal is to get rid of fractions. And so the way we're going to do that is notice 3 goes into 12 4 times. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 goes into 84 28 times. All right, and so now we can simplify. We can distribute this 4 in our first term to get 8x plus 16 plus 6x equals 3x minus 28. And now you see we have a linear equation with no fractions, and we can solve this. All right, now let's solve this linear equation since we've gotten rid of the fractions. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify this side. Now, what do I mean by simplify? I have an 8x and I have a 6x. They are on the same side of the equal side, so I'm just going to add them because that's what that sign right there tells me to do. So 8x plus 6x gives me 14x. I still have my plus 16 equals 3x minus 28. Now I want to get all my x terms on one side. All right, so I want to move this 3x to the other side, and now is when I'm going to use opposite operation, and so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. And that's going to give me 11x plus 16 equals negative 28. And I also want to move the 16 to the other side because I want to get all my constant terms on one side. So I'm going to use opposite operation and subtract 16 from both sides. and that's going to give me 11x equals negative 44. And my final step is to get the x by itself. And notice that this reads 11 times x. And so if I want to move that 11, I have to divide by 11. All right, that's the opposite of multiplication. So I divide both sides by 11, and I get x equals negative 4, which is our answer.